Hello people, this is Power here with the DX Red Dial Fighter from Lupinranger vs. Patranger. This is the Dial Fighter that Lupin Red uses to transform and to summon, and also forms the chess for Lupinranger. Obviously, this is the individual release. You could have gotten this along with the VS Changer and the Lupinranger set. Obviously, because I prefer the Patrangers, I got the Patranger set. You could have also gotten Trigger Machine Ichigo individually, but you know, they're both the same toys. And like what I said at the end of my review of the VS Changer, I really like how Bandai has given us the option of how we want to buy these toys, because I just can't appreciate it enough. So there's Lupin Red, there's Lupinranger, the logo, Red Dial Fighter, the stats on the Red Dial Fighter, compatibility, stuff, VS Changer, Lupinranger, its attack mode, the same thing at the top, but instead they actually showed Good Striker in the Lupinranger mode, or not Lupinranger mode, the Dial Fighter mode, because with the Patrangers, it will show it into its Trigger Machine mode, which I really appreciate. So that's basically it for the box. I think it was about like $11 or so on HLJ. But yeah, so let's get on with it. So here's the Red Dial Fighter, and I gotta say, I actually do really like the Dial Fighters. Honestly, a bit more than the Trigger Machines because of what they can do, but honestly, the Trigger Machines just look cooler. But functionality-wise, I do like the Dial Fighters a bit better. Speaking of the Trigger Machines, as I mentioned, the Trigger Machines, or with Ichigo, like, he's mainly white with some red assets. I don't know how you pronounce it. While the Red Dial Fighter is purely red with some black, the Lupinranger logo. Obviously, he has the Patranger logo. I think I forgot to mention that. And it still has the orange. And I really do like this top hat dial. And again, there's blue. There's the track. Again, the peg for Good Striker. And as you can see, when you twist the dial, this button comes up. So it's just for this part for the VS Changer. But the dial actually has like numbers of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 0 through 9, and obviously to activate or to open it up for its attack mode, just twist the dial until it drops and clip it. Then make sure it's on this face. Then you just lift up the fins because they're on ratchets. And yeah, you get its attack mode, which is kind of weird, honestly. Honestly, like, I prefer Ichigo's because it's just the extent. But yeah. But anyways, transformation for Lupinranger, twist it until you get the face, which again I do like. This one's obviously with the traditional like Sentai Robo face. Yeah, overall, he's pretty simple. So just twist that back up, flip it down, and let's get the VS Changer. So we got the VS Changer, we got the Red Dial Fighter, just like Ichigo, just slide it on here. Actually red. Oh, I need to learn how to insert these. So unlike the Trigger Machines, it actually says red, and unlike the Trigger Machines, they actually like says PowerRider right away, but for these you have to actually twist the dial. You don't have to do it exact, but so then this standby will start. So instead of flipping it down, you flip it up. Then just press the trigger. I really do like that transformation too, because I just really like how it's like similar to like, you know, like Gold Ranger-esque sounds. So I really appreciate that. And again, you can fire. This one's more higher pitched than the Patranger one, because the Patranger one actually sounds like a gun. This one just still sounds like a laser gun. And obviously, just like the trigger machines, you can enlarge the dial fighters the same way. Standby will still play. Press the trigger again. Yes, that was the air horn. I don't know. That's a legend, like what Tsurugi would say. And remove it. I don't remember if I mentioned this is how you remove the dial fighters, but you can actually just do the transformation without the dial twisting. So, you know, just want to mention that. But obviously, I do recommend the red dial fighter because, you know, like, if you don't want to get everyone else, always get the two reds, because obviously this is two teams, so yeah. But this made me like actually really like the dial fighters, because obviously like I'm like, oh, I like the Patrangers, I'm gonna like say like the trigger machines are better, but the dial fighters just have more functionality than the trigger machines. And plus I like their transmissions way more, because obviously they look like the parts are supposed to be, but then again they're planes, so it makes sense. But also it's just like the dial is just so like satisfying. Like the clicks are just so satisfying. And plus I do like the fact that this is actually a top hat, unlike most of the others that are just generic gray. But yeah, overall it's pretty cheap. If you didn't get the Lupinranger set, then I'll say go for the individual release. Or if you don't want the changer, then just get the individual release. There's just so many ways of getting these. I like that so much. But anyways, this is PowerRider, and I'll leave people. Bye.